Secret police facility, black site discovered inside America, detaining and torturing Americans. What's going on, guys? MaKaElectric. It is Wednesday, the 25th of February, 2015. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did many of us predict this years ago, and weren't many of us called crazy for doing so? Well, here you go. First link below. In a startling report from The Guardian, details have been revealed about Chicago police detaining American citizens at black sites. These sites are similar to those used by the CIA around the world to interrogate and torture alleged terrorists. I'll put this first link from We Are Change. They put out a second story, The War on Terror Turns Inward Against You. I'm going to cover a lot of things in this video. Anybody remember American Police Force and the crap up in Hardin, Montana? If you're not aware of that, just do a YouTube search for American Police Force. There's still a lot of stuff on it. Now, DHS report warns of sovereign citizen right-wing domestic terror threat. This is a link from Swan. I reported on this in my last video. I just think it's interesting to go along with that second link about how the guns are being pointed inward at Americans. DHS report leaked to media claims right-wing extremists carrying out terror attacks across U.S. would be bigger threat than Muslims. See, we have the perfect boogeyman right now with the ISIS. The ISIS could come in and do the false flag, see? And then on the back end, when they try to take guns from Americans, well, we warned you about all these dangerous domestic terrorists. They don't want to give up their guns. Speaking of ISIS, the PSYOP seems to be working. At least that's how it's reported by CBS News. Poll says Americans see ISIS as a major U.S. threat because of everything you've seen on TV. And you believe all that crap. Now people are believing that ISIS is a threat to America. I'm more worried about my government than I am any sort of ISIS group or whatever the hell you want to call them. Al-Qaeda, more like it. Paul Craig Roberts says governments and media lying to people as elites enslave humanity. That is the truth. I will put a link to that. You're being lied to while you're being enslaved. Edward Snowden documentary Citizenfour wins Oscar. Isn't it interesting? A documentary about your enslavement wins an Oscar. They are not only enslaving you, but you are paying to see the movie at the same time. I will put a link for those of you who do not know, and I definitely recommend that Edward Snowden movie, Citizenfour. We watched it. Very good stuff. I believe Edward Snowden to be the real deal. In fact, I will put the link to the interview that he did with The Guardian a while back, the NSA whistleblower. If you have not seen that interview of him talking about who the NSA is and what it is that they do, and a lot of people are going to want to argue and say Ed Snowden is just a government agent, this and that. I don't want to hear that argument because in my mind that is absolutely irrelevant. Do you have an argument against the information that he's talking about? It's not about the messenger, it's about the message. It's mainstream news, what he's talking about. I would really like your thoughts on the NSA recording everything you do. Check out his interview if you haven't seen it. Speaking of the NSA, did the NSA just plant spyware on computers around the world? This from Stars and Stripes. Do you have NSA spyware on your system? W&D reports secret new internet rules loom for Americans. We got the whole net neutrality thing going on. The FCC is going to come in and try to regulate the internet as a utility. In doing so, they're going to try to shut down a lot of alternative media websites because, the alternative media is a tug of war between the alternative media and mainstream media. One week the alternative media is winning a little bit more, then the next week the people are going back to the mainstream. So they would love to put the alternative media out of business for good. Check that out and be advised, internet control right around the corner. My friends in Australia, heads up, Australia Prime Minister announces new counter-terror measures, no doubt to take away a lot more of your freedom. In fact, back here in the United States, check this out. This is what we're up against. A police officer down in Houston to an open carry activist. You can try all you want with your constitutional bullshit. Really, that same constitution that you swore an oath to uphold and defend? Check out that article. Please share that one. Please tell me your thoughts. Ohio schools, let's talk about indoctrination. Ohio schools just started passing out these disturbing police state guides for students, telling you, if you ever stop by the cops, don't you dare resist. Be a good little slave. Updated list of purge military high officers is terrifying. It's not just a fight against the civilians, it's also been a fight against the military. Take a look at this link from Red Flag News about how many high-ups in the military have been replaced. I believe, just my opinion, these are men and women who would not fire on the American people if they had to do so. These are people who would go against the grain. They would refuse an illegal order. And we're not just talking about E1s and E2s and grunts. We're talking about generals and admirals and just all kinds of high ups, people who work that hard to get so far up high in the ranks. You know, they don't, you know, all of these scandal stories coming out about these people, all of the nuclear commanders relieved of duty. Is that to put in place people who would carry out the next false flag? In fact, let me give you a link on that. We got this whole threat now. Threats made to malls in the United States and Canada. FBI downplaying the threat. You know, would anybody be surprised if they turned on the TV and saw that a bomb went off at a mall somewhere? And let me ask you, would you believe the TV if they told you that ISIS did it? I'll put a link to this. Shock video, ISIS leader says they are being funded by Obama and the United States. Yeah, no crap. No crap. How many times have we heard the story about we're training and arming the rebels? Oh, and then the trained and armed rebels, they defect to ISIS. Oh, well, got to train some more. Got to train some more rebels. Got to give them some more guns so that they can fight ISIS. No, they just all defected too. So he is absolutely right. Before It's News has this White House bombshell. You want to see how things are changing in this country? White House bombshell at Extremist Summit. The Quran gets welcome as the Bible gets booted. Tell me your thoughts on that. Texas governor, here we go, talk about the North American Union is going to come in as well after this next big false flag that I believe could be any day now. Texas governor says since January 1st, 2015, we have had more than 20,000 people come across the border. Border still not secure, border wide open. You know why? Because the North American Union's coming. That's why. They don't care about the border. You know, Naomi Wolf talked about all of this. She also talks about black sites. I'm going to put an updated link to the End of America Revisited New Hampshire Liberty Forum 2014. Definitely pass that around to your friends and family. And I would also recommend her lecture from 2007. The difference between her in 2007 and 2014 is that she is figuring out that it doesn't matter who the president of the United States is. There's a much bigger cabal in charge of this train wreck. Who the president is, whoever's in the White House, is absolutely irrelevant. Our next president will most likely be Hillary Clinton or Jeb Bush, and it won't matter which one. Those are your two candidates. Select one, slaves, because they're going to execute the same agenda. Please tell me your thoughts on all this. Please rate the video. Please pass it around. Make your friends and family members aware there is a black site in Chicago, Illinois. Nazi Germany much? Your thoughts? Until the next one, you guys take care, stay safe always. I will see you on the next one.